Welcome to the Town of Munster podcast, coming to you from the JED TV studios on the campus of Purdue Northwest in Hammond, Indiana. Now here's your host.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to the Town of Munster show here on WJOB, and we're at 1230 WJOB, 1230 AM and 104.7 FM. And I've got some guests today, which, this is getting to be fun. We've got the couch here. Some people say it's like the old Johnny Carson show. I know that Kristen and Kyle don't remember that. George, maybe.
Come on.
The Johnny Carson show. But anyway, on the far end of the couch, we have our council president, George Schinken.
How you doing?
And in the middle here, we have the school board president, Kyle Dempsey.
Good morning.
And then we have Kristen Smith, who is one of the board members of the school board. And my name is David Nellens, and I'm on the town council for Munster. And I get asked, do you enjoy doing the show? And absolutely, we have a good time. And that's what we're here to do today, is to have a great time. Just relax, be calm, and again, we're going to enjoy ourselves. I do have just a few messages, and then we'll get into the real program here. As of April 1st, the chipper is going to be out along with the leaf vac in town. Those are all important things. Where's the chipper at and where's the leaf vac? It gets plotted and people check on the GPS what's going on. We want to remind everyone that they need to put their leaves and branches out at this curbside in front of their houses. The chipper will not be going through the alleys anymore to chip up the branches. Then we have ongoing repairs of sod where the plow fellas got a little bit close and slipped the sod off. They're repairing that. We're also setting up to do a lot of road work this summer. We're going to be repairing water mains and replacing pavement. And Public Works is working on the 50-50 sidewalk list. And they said they've got the first list all filled up, and they're working on the second list. So if you want to be involved with the 50-50 sidewalk program, you need to call Public Works, and they're at 219-836-6970. And one more time, that's 219-836-6970 for Public Works to get your name on the 50-50 sidewalk list. And with that, those are the items I wanted to cover initially. Let's start here with the school board. And we've got our council president, George Schinken, and we want to talk about this IT program. And I'll start with George. Why did we want to do this? Why did we want to team up with the schools?
Well, Dave, I was reading since 2017. Before that, Munster used to do their own IT service. You probably know more about that.
Yes, we did.
And as the town grew, we had to contract out with Impact.
And the computer systems got to be more complicated. And you got these viruses and all this stuff coming in and everything going through Moscow to find out, what's going on.
And we just started, okay, it's getting a little expensive now. Let's speak with the school town of Munster and let's see if we could, work our resources out together, because the money, the tax dollars are still staying in Munster. So whether it's with the school town of Munster and the town of Munster, we're saving our taxpayers, our residents, some money by partnering together.
Right, and it comes out of the same pocket.
It does.
And it's we're anticipating, and we've got our school board representatives here, that we're going to have more service and more responsive service than what we were currently getting, because they're right. You can reach out of the town hall and grab them. So that's a real good point. But Kyle, what's your thoughts on this?
My thoughts are this is it was a great partnership for multiple reasons. One, with incorporating the revenue that you guys are providing the school town of Munster on a monthly basis, we're able to leverage our purchasing power. All right, with respect to any new equipment, any upgrades that we need to make from an IT arena in the future, it just makes sense The other is we're able to bring on 2 extra IT positions that will help not only with the town of Munster, but the school town of Munster as well. You guys are going to have a dedicated person, a dedicated point of contact.
Oh, great.
With respect to anything that the town of Munster needs. And this person will be at future council meetings. Last, I would say for no other reason than just being a good community partner. The town of Munster as a whole benefits when the town of Munster and the school town of Munster collaborate and work together.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what it's all about, really. And we service the community, all the residents, and our expenses go to them and they pay the bills. But what's I think is going to be nice about this is, 1, you're close. 2, you're going to have a revenue stream. And we were paying for an outside contractor anyway.
Right. And
this will give us better service. And again, we'll have someone, more than likely the same person or group of individuals will know what our needs are, what our equipment is.
We asked our director of commuting systems, Jarek Pazdal, many questions leading up to this, making sure that we were comfortable and that his team was comfortable with the added responsibility. And we asked him in 10 different ways, Jarek, can we handle this? Are we putting ourselves in a position where we're not going to let the town down, or we're not going to take a step backwards with respect to the school town's IT systems?
Sure.
Can we do it? All right. Is everyone going to benefit? And every single time he did not flinch, and he said, we can handle this. This will be a blessing for everyone involved.
And I want to mention, too, actually this goes back to when the town of Munster was running some fiber through the community. And it was offered to the school towns if they wanted to jump on with us and then have that backbone going through the community and running it out to their schools. So and I'm sure, well, there's other things too, pieces of equipment that we've shared over the years, but it's if this is good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
This is very good. Now, what else do we have going on with the schools?
The school town of Munster is, for the last couple years, we have made plenty of renovations, and we have more renovations to come. Off the top of my mind, ones that we have completed or in the process of, we have the bleacher replacement at the high school. And George, you and I were talking off air. Those bleachers were old, and
I think they're the original.
They were there when I went through high school, and that's really old.
Yeah, you beat me, Dave.
I'm the old man here, so.
We renovated the choir room. We are in the midst of renovating the band, orchestra, and auditorium. All right, that's a big endeavor. You can't drive down Columbia without seeing the mounds of dirt on the soccer and the baseball
right, I've
fields.
seen all that.
We are turfing both the soccer and the outfield of the baseball.
Honestly, I thought you had moles out there kicking that dirt.
They'd be big moles. And then once that is completed, we will add a parking lot on the south side of 35th Street. In partnership with the town, you guys were gracious enough to allow us to move our tennis courts, or we will be moving our tennis courts to just the north side of the town pool.
Now, those are the tennis courts between the high school and the middle school?
Yes. We're going to move the tennis courts around the north and the east side of the town pool, and we'll have that space to build a multi-use sports facility.
Really?
Yes.
And what all did you plan on having in that building?
It's up in the air. We've seen a couple renderings with some ideas. But think of basketball courts, think of a weight room or a wrestling room, think of offices where coaches and teams can meet, athletic training offices, maybe a track around the volleyball and the basketball courts. A lot of that is still to be determined. In my opinion, it's a long time coming. What this will help is we'll be able to have more student athletes practicing at the same time.
Because you'll have more space.
We'll have more space instead of half our teams having to come back at 5 or 5:30 to start their practices, which means they're there till 8 o'clock, and some of these students have homework afterwards. I think it will be a better experience for our student athletes.
Well, I was going to mention here, the council, with Council President Schinken, we've had discussions on this, and we all feel that this is a good thing to do.
Yeah.
And help the schools out. And again, if I might step in on this, on the tennis courts, the understanding is that there's the possibility, the understanding is that the residents will be able to use the courts as they do now in off time, off hours, when the school is not out there, when there's not a competition going on or something, that those will be available to use. So that's, for those that do tennis, I don't, but I don't do golf either. But anyway.
You're a pickleball player, aren't you?
No, I'm not a pickleball player either.
Dave, remember when the tennis courts used to be back there?
Yes.
Behind the field house?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think Kyle knows.
I remember.
Okay.
I grew up playing on those courts.
Yeah.
And Kristen probably remembers also with those courts being back there. So what kind of future plans are going on? You talked about the current repairs and renovations and things going on. What kind of things are Kristen, your point, what are some of the future plans that are talked about?
Sure. Beyond the items that Kyle's already mentioned, we're continuing to update classrooms. We're continuing to evaluate our school's needs. As we all know, we are landlocked. So some of the movement of courts from a previous area to where it had previously been is due to the fact that now we're utilizing our area of our school differently and trying to think more strategically, looking ahead. We did hire a person a few years ago to come in and evaluate all of our school buildings. And specifically, they came up with a list of targeted areas that needed to be updated. One actually being our school town of Munster administration building. We have significant work that needs to be done on that building in order for it to be brought up to current standards and use over that area. So beyond that, I think we'll continue to evaluate our needs, where our athletic needs go, our fine arts needs, and that also works in partnership with our Parks Department. I currently sit on the Park Board as a result of my role on the school board. And our Parks Department just underwent a very large strategic plan over the last year where they involved the community, they involved private groups, trying to get input into our Parks Department and how our parks are currently utilized, if we need additional parks, we need to upgrade current parks. And Mark Heinz, our Parks Director, does an excellent job along with the staff in terms of continually evaluating all of our current parks, what needs to be maintained, what needs to be updated. Many people notice there's some updates going on in some of their community parks this summer. And then we're also looking at the View, which at some point in time will be removed, and we will need to
That's the main clubhouse there at Centennial Park.
Thank you, yes. And so we'll be looking at that and determining what we would like to put there. And that is actually up for discussion in the next few months as to what we want to do, because that impacts kind of part 2 of our strategic plan. Is once we know what will go there, we can determine other upgrades that we need to make within our parks area here in the community of Munster, which are very much used everywhere all the time. As you guys can see with this nice warm weather, we've had kids out everywhere riding bikes at the parks.
And I think softball, baseball, it's all starting. Soccer, and they're all out there practicing and using all those areas. I just want to jump in here and mention that there are 5 board members on the Parks Board, 4 of which are appointed by the Town Council of Munster, and the 5th one comes from the school town. And they determine who they would like to send over. And Kristen's been there, so she's getting very familiar with it. And that is also a voting member. So we have 5 members of the community that vote. They're open public meetings. They're listed on the website for the town of Munster, and you're able to listen in or come and attend the meetings. At this point, it's our midpoint. I want to, those of you that may have joined us, welcome you. This is the Town of Munster show. We're at WJOB 1230 AM and 104.7 FM. We have our council president, George Schinken, at the far end, the school board president, Kyle Dempsey, here in the middle, and Kristen Smith. Kristen okay. Smith. There we go. Kristen Smith is a board member, and my name is David Nellens. I'm a councilman from Ward 4 and the host here at the show. So we've talked about all the different things going on. Now, there was a grand opening, ribbon cutting yesterday at the Centennial Park.
Yes, for the new clubhouse and where we keep our golf carts. It had all been newly built and
brand new.
New golf carts are in there as well. It should be a beautiful addition to our golf course area here in Munster.
And it does get the pro shop up by the tee off hole number 1. So that's where they wanted to be. So it's a good arrangement. And yes, unfortunately, the main clubhouse is going to have to come down. Yes. It was ruled that it's unsafe. The building's kind of going up and down in all different ways. And as Kristen said, they're working on some plans as to what might be there in place of it. So, again, it's a good thing. I'm glad to have the school town here.
Thank you for having us.
You know, it works out good, and it's important to have interaction between the school town and the town of Munster. We were talking earlier, too, that the crossing guards are furnished by the town. They're underneath the purview of the police department, and that they set up and agree on which intersections to have those placed at with the school town. And we're also working on some of these traffic calming items. Mm-hmm. George, would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, so we were approached by Superintendent Dr. Heller about speeding along, our schools. And we are working now with SEH, who is an engineering firm, and they're going to design some traffic calming to slow down the traffic around our schools. So Wilbur Wright, Munster High School, 3 elementary schools. So that's taking place right now. Hopefully we will have a plan in the next couple months. So by the time the students come back in the fall, everything will be, all set in place.
Thank you. That's excellent news.
So again, we're doing the raised crosswalks, mm-hmm. which those of you haven't seen them, you kind of have your roadway and then it tapers up, and then that cross section is about 8 to 10 foot wide. It's striped and it's flat, and then you got the drop off. Otherwise, the other item that we use is humps, speed humps, mm-hmm. and you've probably seen some of those in the community. Mm-hmm. That's just people speed. I don't know what the deal is. They're in a hurry. They're not paying attention. They keep moving along. And we have and will continue to add additional police officers. We're looking to bring our complement up to 50. We started really somewhere years ago, 30-ish, and then we pushed it to 40 and 44 and now 50. And we are also talking about that we've added squad cars for take-home cars for the officers. And that, I think, was a real good move. We saw that there were communities, out of 9 communities in the local area, there were only 3 that didn't give take-home vehicles to the officers, and Munster was one of them. And, we want to be a leader in Northwest Indiana. Mm-hmm. So we did make those adjustments. Plus, in order to get officers to even apply, you have to be competitive. I think in business you recognize that you need to be competitive, or you're just not going to, 1, hire the employees, really good ones, and 2, you're not going to have service available if you don't have the employees. So.
And I think this goes with the school town of Munster, too. They want to be, have the best teachers in place and principals, so they got to be competitive, and they have to up the salary. Yes. We are a town that wants the best. We want to attract the best. So I think just, partnering with them, it's going to help out the community.
Well, and I know we benefit greatly from the police department and our relationship with the police department in particular for the safety of our schools. That partnership has led to really our officers that are in our school are top-notch. We can't thank Officer Greist enough for all the work he does within our schools.
Yes, Sergeant
it's
Greist
incredible.
does a fantastic job.
Yes, and I just saw him this weekend at Snow Flurry for all of our fifth graders, leading that endeavor to bring them all together. So that was amazing. But again, our priority is our safety of our students within our schools, and the work that the police department does with our administrative team is outstanding.
I think it's great. I think you've got an outstanding officer, Officer Remertz, and his sidekick Sky.
Mm-hmm.
They patrol the floors, and they're there in the high school and get involved with what's happening. And I think that's a great thing.
Nice.
And I've also been there to see on times when the school is closed during the week, but we will have an active shooter drill. I'm proud to say that Munster is set up with active shooter drills, because that's a concern that parents may have, and that our officers are not going to stand around and wait for somebody to say, "Okay, let's go." As they arrive, they're going to get teamed up and they're going to go in, and they're familiar with the building. They know what's going on in each of the schools, and we're proud of that. And
Yes.
That's something that folks should know.
Well, and I know our administrative team and the police department meet quite often to evaluate the safety of our schools and ensure that we know, anytime any response is needed, that we're aware of what has to happen. And Officer Cooley, for example, at the middle school, he knows every student by their first name. He's very involved, comes to activities after school to make sure he's staying in touch with our students, which is extremely important.
And that's what we want. We want there to be a bond between the officers and the students, and that they feel that they can go to the officer and discuss something. It's not someone you vaporize them away. We don't see you. You're not here.
Yeah, and they also show up to after school activities, either sporting events or plays and concerts. So yeah, the students appreciate that.
Officer Greist, he's a prime example. He graduated. He's was a Munster student. Graduated
Absolutely.
right around the time I did, and now he's serving the town of Munster as a police officer, but as in our schools. He's invaluable. All of them are.
All of them are, and he's been promoted up to sergeant because he's going to oversee that division of the police. And if I recall right, I hope this is right, he's been an officer for 24 years. He's a long-termer, and he's been, of course, the DARE officer the longest of any officers, and he really enjoys it. He brings that and enhances it. And this summer here in August, he's going to have the National Night Out.
Right.
And that's just a fantastic evening. And he works with the school town to have like the clubs and things to be able to participate, set up their table, have activities, and we really appreciate that. And he just, how he does it, I think last year he had like 124 booths, tables all set up, which his goal at one point was to get to 100. And now he's succeeded that. And it's good. So anyway, Kyle, would you like to wrap up some comments here?
It's easy to highlight the renovations and the changes we're making that people can see, but there's a lot of things that happen and that people do not see with respect to changes being made. And what I mean is the Munster High School lighting system, the wiring system, the chiller replacement that we made, the chiller systems at Eads and at Elliott.
It's all behind the scenes.
All behind the scenes. Our director of operations, Sean Begley, does a fantastic job making sure that we are on top of things and we're not responding after the fact. He and our chief financial officer, Bill Melby, they have a bus replacement system. And instead of replacing all of our buses at the same time, logic would tell you that some of those buses, or most of them, would then need to be replaced at the same time. That is a big check to write. So
sure
what we do is we replace the buses, 2 or 3 at a time, and that way at least they're cycling through with new buses all the time.
Get that scheduled up. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Council President?
No, I think the partnership with the school town of Munster and how we're working together to be the stewards of the taxpayer money and saving money, and this just listening about the buses and how, you know, they're looking out for all of us and not replacing all at once, but, you know, incrementally saving us money.
Absolutely. Well, I'd certainly like to say this has been a great show. I think we should do this more often, showcasing the organizations that are in the town of Munster, because this is the Town of Munster show, and I think you've been great guests here, Kristen.
Greatly appreciate
and
it. Thank
Kyle
you.
and George down there.
Thank you for having us, George.
Yeah, thank you.
Dave,
Yeah,
thank you
this
for
was
having
great.
us.
We need to do it again.
Absolutely.
100%.
So we'll get set up. So anyway, that's a wrap for the Town of Munster show, and I hope we had some good information for you. And have a great day. Enjoy yourselves.
You've been listening to the Town of Munster podcasts, coming to you from the JED TV studios on the campus of Purdue Northwest in Hammond, Indiana. Thank you for listening.